Welcome back, friends.
John Bradshaw from It Is Written is with us here today to share a devotional thought.
Hi there, it's great to see you. I hope your day is off to a blessed start, that you are well and encouraged in the Lord, and you've got big plans for the day, that you're expecting to see God do something in your life, and that you are expecting to see the leading of God in your life. I really do hope that by the time you get to the end of the day, you look back on this day and say, I am closer to God now than I was when the day began. Hey, this is an interesting story. Not the sort of thing you really want to experience, I don't think. A man was a passenger in a small aircraft, a Cessna, when he radioed the tower. Now, why in the world would a passenger be radioing anybody at all? He said, this is not good, we've got a problem. Then he said, the pilot has gone incoherent. He said, I don't know how to fly the plane. So there he is at, 3, 4, 5,000 feet, I suppose, in a plane that's sort of flying along on its own. The pilot is slumped over the controls, not the steering wheel, I guess, but the controls. And this man's saying, this isn't going to end well because I don't know how to fly a plane. So of course he was heard by somebody at a control tower. This was in Florida. Just so happened that the person at the control tower was a flight instructor with 20 years experience flight instructing. So if anybody was going to be able to talk this passenger down, that is the passenger and the plane and the incapacitated pilot, it was probably this man. Imagine being in that situation. You're at the controls of an aircraft, you don't know how to fly. That would be me. I've sat up front in little aircrafts before. I know that they tilt it this way, that way, I don't know, something like that. You turn the power up and down, you accelerate, you decelerate. Wouldn't know what to do if I got behind the controls. So here's the passenger in a very unfamiliar place, territory he'd never been in before, and he is informed by somebody at a control tower somewhere, buddy, you are going to land this plane. I guess he agreed. You know how the story ends, otherwise I'd be coming off with an entirely different sort of a disposition. But he got the news, you're going to have to land this plane. He said, okay, what do I do? So the air traffic controller, who doubled as a flight instructor, started feeding him basic instructions. Bring the plane down a little, back off the power a little, bring the plane down a little, turn in this direction ever so slightly. If that was you in that plane, you would be listening to those instructions as though your life depended on it, because that would be true. Your life and the life of the poor old pilot who's out of it over there in the pilot's seat. A remarkable story. It worked out incredibly well. They got him pointed toward a runway someplace, had him back off the speed and lower the plane and back off the speed and so on and so on and so on, until he brought it down ever so close to the runway, cut the power, it dropped onto the runway and bounced along a little bit and ran out of power and came to a stop. It was high fives and yahoos and hallelujahs all around. The young man had brought the plane down. The pilot later, who came to and sort of got back on his feet, met the young, a conscript, I guess, and congratulated him and thanked him for doing what he had done. At a time like that, you need to listen and then follow the instructions and trust the voice of the one giving the instructions. One of our newly minted pilot had said, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I will do it my way. Well, he'd have got down eventually, but not in a good way, and both he and the poor old pilot would have undoubtedly lost their lives. Here we are in this world, and sometimes it seems like we are adrift or flying solo. What in the world do you do? You know, the reason I bring this up is because in all likelihood, you are going to confront something today, a situation where you don't quite know what to do, how to handle yourself. Do I go left or do I go right? Do I speak or do I remain silent? What do I do? Do I buy or do I sell? Do I lead or do I follow? Do I take this opportunity or is it really quicksand and I want to stay out of it? Could be something small, could be something absolutely life-defining. These things come to us on a regular basis. What do you do then? Well, I'd suggest to you what you do. You grab the Bible, you open to the Proverbs, you read in chapter 3, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Then it says, lean not unto your own understanding. Trust in God, but don't trust in your own understanding. Then it says, in all your ways, acknowledge Him, that's God, and He shall direct your path. That's a promise. So God has staked His reputation on it. He has said, I will guide you. Like the air traffic controller who was a flight instructor who guided a layman, not a pilot, to land a plane safely. Plane wasn't damaged and neither was anybody on board. See, that's what we need in life as guidance. It's when you think that you can do your own thing that things eventually come unglued. When you say, hey, I've got this life, let me decide what to do with it. That's when the train kind of jumps the tracks, and that's never a pretty thing. I think it's fair to say, and I say this without rancor and with malice toward none, that the vast majority of people on planet Earth are flying solo. They're doing their own thing. They're not taking directions from the tower. They're not opening up the Bible and listening to the voice of God and taking their direction from God. How do you think that's working out for people? By and large, how's the world going? We got war everywhere. We're in a financial mess. There's tension and there's crime and there's murder and there's the breakdown of the family. I think we'd have to agree that things aren't going well when people take over the governorship of their own lives and lean on their own understanding. God promises wisdom and He promises guidance. He doesn't promise that no hardship will ever come. We do live in a world that has been marinating in sin for 6,000 years. There's difficulty on every side. Even healthy people, even committed Christians get sick and die and die prematurely and get in accidents. This happens. But the Christian believer can look beyond this world to the world to come, knowing that this place is temporary. Heaven, and perhaps the new earth, we could say, will be permanent. But how to get from here to there? Listen, how's it going calling your own shots? I know there's someone who says, just fine, thanks. I understand that. We're doing swimmingly, but really, maybe materially you're doing okay. Maybe your family's okay. I don't know. But even if that were the case, what happens after this life? God sees the big picture, your life now and your life in eternity. But what about that person who right now is saying, yeah, things aren't going well. I've made some mistakes. I've made some messes. The more I try, the worse it gets. Here's what you do. You listen for that voice coming from the control tower. You trust it. You follow the directions God gives. You surrender to His Godship, to His Lordship in your life. And today and every day is going to go just a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him. God will direct your paths. You read that in Proverbs chapter 3. I hope your day is truly blessed, and I hope that you'll pray the prayer that says, God, you guide me today and give me grace to follow. Hey, have a great day. God bless you.